don't think I've done a lick of comedy. I'm a cop, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a comatose dad. But it's funny now, yeah, there you go. I did, I thought I was going to be, you know, either an action hero or a funny guy, but hey, I'm here and I'm still plugging away, and like Nathan, I'm not a young man.
I grew up in kind of an artsy house. My mother's a modern dancer, and I always played music, and I still play. That's really where my passion is on the keyboard. But I went to school, you know, and I thought I'd get a regular job. I went to college, got my BA, and you know, for a second I thought I'd do the foreign service, which is like working in embassies abroad, because I wanted to do something good. Because in college I really kind of gained a social conscience, and you know, I wanted to promote good things and promote you know, sharing and all the good things in life. So in any case, I got out of college, and you know, all my friends were getting regular jobs and stuff, and I was like, do I really want to go to Enterprise, rent a car, and try to be a, you know, I don't know. So I had some friends in LA, and I came out, and you know, things started to happen, and basically I just want to use art to inspire passion, love, and courage. And I don't really care if it's through acting or music or whatever. That's kind of where my heart is.
Well, my mom and I used to watch old movies for hours and hours and hours, and cry and laugh, and she'd tell me who all the old stars were. So I fell in love with old movies, and so I've just always been inspired to act and write and everything, theater, film, TV, commercial, whatever it may be. But one day, many moons ago, I was looking at an actor trade magazine, and I saw an ad for a movie called Guyver 2 Dark Hero. It was, you know, and I didn't even call my agent or anything. I was like, this is cool. Because it was in my martial arts day. I was training as a martial artist a lot at that time. So I wanted to play the bad person. I wanted to play the main female thug, and so I submitted myself in that, and I was all bummed out because they called me in on the lead, and I'm like, I don't want to play the lead. I want to play the, you know, but it was fun because when I got there, I saw that the main bad girl was kind of a, she was a tough chick. I'm like, okay. So when this came up, I was really excited to work with these guys again. They're a blast.
So Kid's dad, his backstory, he actually was a stand-up comedian. So. But my influences have been what Steve watched. Even growing up, Steve's my older brother, and you know, I grew up watching Ultraman, all those shows, and another show that we loved growing up was Robotech. We wish we had YouTube back then. YouTube, but when we missed an episode, we'd be so pissed. You know, so when we were doing Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, we wanted to have that drama to it. You know, we wanted the audience to care for the characters, which you know, Robotech did, and so and the cast did an amazing job.
We know. Let's see, I wanted to be an action star. First time I saw Terminator 2 when I was like 3 years old. My mom didn't quite understand that, and then I saw Power Rangers and I really wanted to be an action star. I think I dragged my grandmother to see that movie 5 times. She wanted to kill me. And then when I believe I turned 12, that's when I realized I wanted to have a girlfriend. So I'm like, what's a way to do that? Be a famous actor. And that kind of got the boat rolling, and it was kind of annoying. It's the ultimate cliche Hollywood story. I'm actually from the South, and then I came out here, and then, you know, I went to, lived at the Oakwood. Oh, dear God. Yeah. The Oakwood, and then I got a manager, and I'm like, here now. So that's my story.
For me personally, I always wanted to do martial arts since I was a kid because of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I wanted to be Tommy, the Green Power Ranger. I wanted to be Jason David Frank.
Like JDF.
Spar with them.
Have you actually gotten to meet him?
I haven't seen any of his fights, but my God. I'm like, he's big. But then after that, I started martial arts. I really enjoyed performing and doing performance martial arts. And then I saw The Crow, and I wanted to be an actor. I saw it, and I wanted to be Eric Draven. And you know, I was so affected by that movie, and I wanted to affect people the same way. So I got on a plane and never went back to Chicago. That's it.
Dude, what's your question again? I'm joking. I think it was what keeps us inspired, or what inspires us.
What inspired you to start being an actress?
So, I thought it would always be fun to be in a sci-fi, fantasy. I mean, I love the fantasy genre, and actually when the audition came up for this, it didn't even say Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. It actually, I think it was Ventura County. Yeah, so my agent didn't really even know what it was, and once I met Steve and Mike, and they gave us all the info, that was really cool, because then we started to, you know, do our research as good actors and find out what it was. But you know, this show, looking back on it, it's really, I mean, it's really amazing to work with Steve and Nathan, and you know, everyone here was just so great to work with. I mean, you know, in the acting business, it can be, you know, interesting sometimes, but they were really great. So this show definitely kept me inspired to do more. Thanks, Steve and Mike.
Wow, hey. I never really wanted to be an actor, and I don't know how I got here. No, I never knew that you could do that for a living or something. And I was, although I do remember fondly watching all of Chuck Norris's movies, and I wanted to kick a butt, and which caused me to go to lots of martial arts classes and whatnot. But I was actually at UCLA getting my PhD in mechanical engineering, designing fusion energy systems for the Department of Energy, truthfully. And I had to give a lot of presentations to a lot of people, and it kind of made me shy, and I would get sweaty and start stuttering. And so I took an acting class that also might have pretty girls in it. And someone said, hey, there was a scene, I think I had to do some scene about a guy who lost his arm in the war. And someone said, hey, that was a pretty good scene. Do you want to meet this agent? And within a couple of weeks, I had a meeting at lunch. I was studying for a test, and they said, you want to go to CBS? And I went. And then a guy named Aaron Norris said, I want him. And they said to me, can you go to Texas on Friday? And I had midterms on Friday, so I said, sure. You bet. And then they said, oh wait, can you rollerblade? Never rollerbladed in my life, but I said, you bet. Great. And then I walked out the door, and he said, oh Chuck, this is the guy for the episode. And it was Chuck Norris, and I was going to Texas to do an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. First job, and they picked me up in a limo, first limo I'd ever been in. And I flew there in first class, first time I ever had first class. And for 2 weeks, I got to run around and beat people up and play pretend and shoot guns. And I came back and I said, geez, I don't ever want to do that again. So since I'd skipped midterms, I really couldn't go back to school, and I went and played pretend and shot guns and beat people up for a living.
Chuck knows where you drop out of school.
My question is for all the actors who play riders. When you guys are showing your family and friends, did they ever confuse it with Power Rangers?
Yeah, definitely. There was like, is that Power Rangers? But they're like, why? But your guy has fur on his thing. I don't remember there being any furry Power Rangers, so I guess that helped. But I think there are people who get it a little mixed up.
Yeah, My favorite thing to tell people, it's like, oh yeah, I was on a Emmy-winning kids series called Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, trying to play it up as much as possible. And they're like, so what's that show like? I'm like, Power Rangers? And I remember the entire time we were filming, it was like, okay, not like Power Rangers. I'm like, okay, it's not like Power Rangers, cool. And then like every day, trying to describe it to people, I'm like, oh, it's just like Power Rangers.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good answer. That was pretty much it. Yeah, that was exactly right. Steven's right.
Well, you know, since I like to wear the suit around a lot, I've gotten a multitude of comments, but no, I don't know. I think it is actually. It's a little bit like it's a little bit like Power Rangers, but I thought it had a lot of great themes and a lot of kick-ass action and a heck of a production team.
For both Matt and Steven, how do you guys like working with Marc Dacascos, the Iron Chef? Woo!
And you know, and also that last question, I thought when I started doing it, started seeing some of the stuff, I thought someday shows are going to come out and they're going to say, that's a lot like Kamen Rider.
Yeah! Working with Marc Dacascos was really, for me, it was a dream come true because Only the Strong was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Yeah! It was outstanding. And then of course, Drive. I saw Drive. It was outstanding. So when Steve was like, I was begging Steve and Mike, they're like, yeah, we're thinking about getting, Marc Dacascos to play the Advent Master. I was like, you gotta get him. They're like, well, he might have another project to do. I'm like, well, can we move it up? Like, there's gotta be something we can do. Mark's gotta be the Advent Master. And yeah, I'm just like, crash his house, yes. After I finish my midterm, though. So yeah, working with Marc was really for me a dream come true, and then I got to do an acting scene with him and an action scene. So I have footage of myself and Marc Dacascos fighting. I lose that one too, but it was outstanding. He's a great guy overall, and who I'd like to emulate my career after. So yeah.
He's a great guy, and he can do a lot of push-ups. I'm not kidding. That was like the first thing. I didn't know who he was until he showed up on set and everything, and I was like, oh, that's the Advent. Okay, that's cool. All right, cool. And I'm like walking to my trailer as I'm doing that. He brought those, the perfect push-up things. Yeah. And he just put them down. I'm not kidding. I just saw that guy do 100 push-ups in a second. I was like, oh wow. And I didn't stare that long, I just walked on. So he was a great guy to work with, and that was quite awesome. So yeah.
This concludes our Q&A. We have a raffle that's going to happen, but before we do that, I just wanted to, I noticed that some of our cast, our crew members are in the audience here, and I want them all to stand up so I can introduce you guys. So here we have Marc Dacascos. Marc's one of our stunt performers. He plays Wing Knight in costume a lot.
Which, let me just tell you, when you got someone that moves as well as Matt does outside of the suit, and then they strap you into this thing that move like him, it's not a lot of fun. Just trying to tell you that.
Yeah, Marc's kind of got his own following as well. He's got a lot of fans. And also too, Marc also played one of the Kamen Riders, costume Kamen Riders for Kamen Rider the First in Japan.
Yes.
So he's the real deal. We have Joe Eric Mercado here. He's one of our suit performers as well. Johnny Psycho. He was one of our costume wranglers. We have hundreds of costumes and TV Psycho. And we have John Pisano, he's one of our directors. Okay, and let's start the raffle.